You read the translation many times.
Yeah, number of times.
So, and you said you stopped everything, you just started
Yeah,
reading
in the
translation.
initial stages of my life, when for 15 days, I didn't do anything after that incident. I
You were
had,
in a shock.
yeah, in the state of shock also, and I had to, which I said to God Almighty that I'll give my life. Then He said what I should do. So I decided that I will give up my merchant navy career.
But you didn't finish it at that time.
No, no, I was in merchant navy also. I was
Oh,
doing
okay.
this video business also. I was doing multiple works. But after that incident, for 15 days, I thought, who am I? Like for example, I was a model. I was a street fighter. I was at the same time doing video business. I was famous for making video movies. I was rental man. At the same I was doing, if I would have passed my exams for masters, I would have become the captain of the ship. That was my career. So I had put my extreme what I would have been. If I would become the captain of the ship, I would have this and the director of, I would become movie maker. So I said, that's not my life. I'm not getting anything out of if I become the captain of the ship, or even if I do filmmaking, I can start making movies. Still, I was not happy. Or still, I cast myself as an actor because I had the chance of becoming an actor also. But that was not giving me satisfaction. So I realized that I will do something, not knowing it. I started reading the Quran and I said, look, I will do what Quran wants me to do. Before reading the book, I had to decide myself what I have to do. So I gave up everything, not knowingly what will happen to me in the future.
You just believe that something you will find out the way.
From the way what I have to do, whether this job or what this job. So, in that time, my mother and my family members, my wife also, I was married at that time. I had 2 kids. Say, how are you going to earn this livelihood? I said, I'll beg, I'll ask money, I'll become a beggar.
Al-Hashr 59, Surah 8 and 9. للفقراء المهاجرين الذين أخرجوا من ديارهم وأموالهم يبتغون فضلا من الله ورضوانا وينصرون الله ورسوله أولئك هم الصادقون والذين تبعوا الدار والإيمان من قبلهم يحبون من هاجر إليهم ولا يجدون في صدورهم حاجة مما أوتوا ويؤثرون على أنفسهم ولو كان بهم خصاصة ومن يوق شح نفسه فأولئك هم المفلحون. The poor migrants who are expelled from their circles and their wealth, seeking the bounty from Allah and good pleasure and helping Allah and His Messenger, they are those who are truthful. And it is for those who are the settlers of the circles and of the belief from before them. They love whosoever migrate towards them, and they do not find in their chest any need for what they are given, and they do not have any effect over themselves, even if poverty is with them. And whosoever is guarded against the stinginess of his soul, then they are those who are prosperous. There are people who are migrating in belief, and if they are poor, fuqara, faqir, so charity is for them who are migrating in belief.
So my mother said, your father died at a very young age, and you said, I'll do this and I'll do that and I'll do this, and I did it. And you made some money out of it, and you did this all the while. Now you'll be becoming a beggar. I said, yeah, I'll become a beggar for God. I will not do jobs. So we had good problems with my family life in making this Quran education course. It was very tough for me at that time.
At that time, it was not career, right?
No, I had decided after reading the Quran.
No, you read the Quran.
After reading the Quran, in 1 year's time, I decided I will not do any job.
So you read it for a year, you just tried to understand it on your own?
Yeah, I read it continuously. Like for example, I used to sleep after Fajr prayers in the morning. And then I used to study the whole time, after Fajr I slept for 11:30, something 12. And from 12 o'clock till Fajr next day, didn't do anything except reading.
What does your family think of all this?
Now my family is a part of my religion now, because in the initial stages they didn't understand, because religion was basically a personal thing. Now I made it something is casual. I mean, it should be a part of a lifestyle. So my wife and my children are almost have got the same concepts and they understand. I don't force religion to my children and I didn't force religion to my wives also, but they understand the essence and the message and they start practicing. And
what is this night owl thing? I mean, why do people choose night time to read?
And the Quran says also in the night time.
Surah Layl Qadr. Now I will read that. Here it says the first Inna anzalnahu fi Laylatul Qadr. Surely we have revealed in the night of evaluation. Wama adraka ma Laylatul Qadr. Wama adraka ma Laylatul Qadr. And what you can perceive, what that night of evaluation is. Laylatul Qadri khairum min alfi shahr. Night of evaluation is better than 1,000 months. What happens? Tanazzalul malaikatu war ruh fiha bi'idni rabbihim min kulli amr. From every order, the angels and the ruh, the spirit, is sent down in it with the permission of the Lord. Salam, hiya hatta matla'il fajr. Peace until the rise of Fajr dawn. Now in this ayah, here Allah questions and explains that surely we have revealed this Quran of course, or the book, in the night of evaluation. You can evaluate, think, ponder, evaluation. And then he says, what you will perceive, what that night of evaluation is. Laylatul Qadri, wama adraka ma Laylatul Qadr. What you can perceive, what that night of evaluation is. Then he explained, Laylatul Qadri khairun min alfi shahr. It is better, Laylatul evaluation is better than for 1,000 months. Now, whenever we ponder on something in the month of Ramadan, last and nights you are sitting in the itikaf, means you are devoted and you are pondering, evaluating the ayahs of Allah. So if suppose the essence is this, Tanazzalul malaika war ruh, the angels and the spirit. Spirit is, what is the spirit? Yasalunaka ni ruh qul ruhu min amri rabbi. They ask you about the spirit, the essence, comes from the order of your Lord. So whenever the essence or the spirit is clear to you, in that night of power, because the angels ascend and the rules, the spirit descends. By the order of by the permission of his Lord, So what happens, the moment you understand the essence, the spirit of any message in that night of evaluation, it is better than how many? 1,000 months. It is better than 1,000 months, meaning 83 years. If I ponder myself any other thing than that, like eating of pig. Eating of swine pig is one example, is not good for health. Or drugs are not good for health. If I do research, it may take years to come to that conclusion, but Allah reveals in the night of power, do not eat, I don't eat. See, its essence is clear to me, and I believe and practice from the eyes of Allah, it is better than 1,000 months, 83 years. You do research, find out from people, do research, then you come to the same conclusion. So it is better than 83 months in this comparison, because in that blessed night, if you are evaluating in the night of, this is the night of evaluation, you think and ponder, Allah is sending down the spirit, the essence of the Quranic ayahs. What is the spirit? It comes from the order of Allah's ayah, order, the spirit. And that I am speaking and you listening to the words. The spirit you are understanding is the essence. And it comes in the night of evaluation. That Allah said, Tanazzul malaika war ruh. The angels and the spirit essence is revealed. Fiha bi izni rabbim, in that night of evaluation, by the permission of your Lord. Min kulli amar, and from all, with the permission of the Lord, from every order. Every order is being sent down in the month of Ramadan, in the night of evaluation, and the spirit is cleared. Salam, peace, until the rise of Fajr, that is daybreak. It will happen till that night. From the Maghrib, the night starts until Fajr, and that is the whole night. This is the night of evaluation. In that one night it happens.
Because all the other activities that you do in the daytime, you can do it in the night time in a nice manner. Because the other time you are getting busy somebody because your family member or somebody calls, and in the night time you are all to yourself. And Quran say you read the Quran alone in the night. That's the best time to understand. So after reading continuously the Quran so many years, I realized that this is it. And after some of the understanding that came to me, that is why I decided that I will educate, because people still do not know what the book is. As I told you, they are still reading in the Arabic text.
So, what did it tell you? What did Quran speak to you?
Surah Al-Qasas 28:86 ayat. وَمَا كُنْتَ تَرْجُو أَنْ يُلْقَى إِلَيْكَ الْكِتَابِ إِلَّا رَحْمَةً مِّن رَبِّكَ فَلَا تَكُونَنَّ ظَهِيرًا لِلْكَافِرِينَ. And you did not hope that the book will be cast to you except a mercy from your Lord, so you do not be the supporter for the rejectors. In my lifetime, I did not expect that I will give up the career of merchant navy. If I would have continued, I would have become the captain of the ship and start reading the Quran. I did not expect the understanding of the book will be given to me, so that I am doing the work for the last so many years and still I am doing so. I did not expect that. And you did not hope that the book will be cast to you except a mercy from your Lord, so you do not be the supporters for the rejectors. Az-Zumar 39, 41 ayat. Inna anzalna alayka al-kitab linnasi bil-haq famani tada falinafsih waman dhalla fa'innama yadhillu alayha wama anta alayhim biwakil. Surely we have revealed the book over you for the people with the truth. So whosoever take guidance, so it is for his own soul. And whosoever goes astray, then surely he is astray on his own soul, and you are not an advocate over them. The ayat simply clarifies that the book was revealed to you, over you, for the purpose for mankind. Inna anzalna alayka al-kitab linnasi bil-haq. We have revealed the book over you for mankind with the truth. You must remember, every ayat that I am reading, that ayat by itself is a guidance for mankind. And how I have been taking guidance, I am reading like that. So this book is a guidance, and it is revealed over you for mankind with the truth. So if people will take guidance, it is best benefit to their souls. If they do not take guidance, it will not benefit to them. Surah Al-Qasas 28:87. وَلَا يَصُدُّنَّكَ عَنْ آيَاتِ اللَّهِ بَعْدَ إِذْ أُنزِلَتْ إِلَيْكَ وَادْعُ إِلَى رَبِّكَ وَلَا تَكُونَنَّ مِنَ الْمُشْرِكِينَ. And let not anyone oppose you about the ayahs of Allah after they have revealed to you, and call to your Lord, and do not be from those who associates. Let not anyone oppose you after the ayahs of Allah, after they have revealed to you. So what I am saying is that the revelation that has been sent to you, then only you can deliver the message. Surah Sad 38:7 Ma sami'na bihada fil millatil akhirah in hada illa ikhtilaq. We have never heard of this in the other religion. This is not except made up creation, invention. Unzila alayhi dhikru min baynina balu fi shakkim min dhikri bal lamma yaduqu adab. Is the remembrance being revealed on him from among us, but they are in doubt from my remembrance, but they have not tasted my punishment. Yunus 10 uski 15. وَإِذَا تُتْلَى عَلَيْهِمْ آيَاتُنَا بَيِّنَاتٍ قال الذين لا يرجون لقاءنا ائت بقرآن غير هذا أو بدل قل ما يكون لي أن أبدله من تلقاء نفسي إن أتبع إلا ما يوحى إلي إني أخاف إن عصيت ربي عذاب يوم عظيم. When our clear ayahs are recited on them, those who do not have the hope of our encounter said, come with the Quran reading other than this, or change it. Say, it is not for me to cast it from myself, that I follow not except what is inspired to me. Surely I fear from my Lord a punishment of great day. Now I am reading these ayahs to show to you, whenever the clear ayahs clarification of ayahs comes to mankind, people listen to the Quran, people listen to the reading of the ayahs, and then say, you change this. Meaning, how you will say, when there is an accusation on me, whenever I read an ayah, the accusation of why do you not talk about hadith as well? The topic is about particular, at this moment I am reading those ayat which are related to my life as a guidance to me. So I am relating those ayat as a guidance to me that I have been reciting these ayats. But people say that you have to talk about the Quran, about the hadith, about the history, about the ulamas, the scholars, everything. Or you change the Quran, not the Quran which is present in the world at this moment. You must change the Quran. Or you come without, other than the Quran, you come, you talk. Other than, keep this Quran aside and then talk. Surah Ankabut 29:48 ayat. وَمَا كُنْتَ تَتْلُو مِنْ قَبْلِهِ مِنْ كِتَابٍ وَلَا تَخُطُّهُ بِيَمِينِكَ إِذًا لَارْتَابَ الْمُبْطِلُونَ. And you did not recite from the book and you did not write with your right hand, then those who falsify would have doubted. So that time frame of that human being is being discussed in this ayat, that a time was there that you were not able to write it down or you cannot even recite from the book. And Surah Yunus 10:16, قُلْ لَوْ شَاءَ اللَّهُ مَا تَلَوْتُهُ عَلَيْكُمْ وَلَا أَدْرَاكُمْ بِهِ فَقَدْ لَبِثْتُ فِيكُمْ عُمْرًا مِنْ قَبْلِهِ أَفَلَا تَعْقِلُونَ. Say, if Allah had willed, I would have not recited on you, neither would have given you the perception with it. Without doubt, I have stayed amongst you a lifetime from before this. Then will you not use your intelligence? At this moment, in this hall, my family members know, first of all, these ayahs are referring to Muhammad Rasulullah and a given particular time. There was a time where he did not knew about the ayahs. We all know this. How he becomes the guidance that you also do not know at time anything about the ayahs. Is it true? It is normal. So how whenever the ayahs are known to you, so there is a time when you did not knew, neither you did not recite it from the book, neither you wrote from the book, neither you can explain from the book, until unless Allah guides. So at this moment there are people, my family members know me at the age of 33. I started this. So what I am saying, he knows me that a time was that I had no knowledge of the book. I could not speak a word from the book. And this is a normal thing. Nobody learns, even if you have memorized the Quran. Even if you in a childhood, if you have memorized the Quran, you cannot speak about the Quranic ayahs until Allah reveals. So there is a time with everybody that a man doesn't know anything. So same thing Allah is writing, that nothing, something new. That there are people among the people that when he start talking about the ayahs, so people know this.
Actually, when you read the Quran, you must have noticed that there are incidences or events narrated again and again. Like for example, divorce is mentioned in chapter Baqarah 2, second chapter. Then there is a chapter 65 chapter is talaq also mentioned, divorce. And then there are in Surah Azab 33 is also mentioned. You see, when you're reading the Quran, why people cannot understand? Because the Quran jumbles up all subjects at one time. And somebody asked me, why is that so? Why is that Allah is not giving one chapter and finished? So if you see that whatever you study from the very childhood, our brain does not take one subject continuous. After 1 hour, the topic is changed. The subject is changed in schools also, in colleges also. They teach you the whole subject of physics or mathematics, but in small parts. But it changes, the topic changes. Now you study physics, now you study chemistry, you study English. And at the end of the year, the whole book is finished. Similarly, if you read in the Quran, it deals small subjects continuously till you get to the end. You write notes, or now the concordance is there. So my study enhanced after I got the concordance. And it really expanded me, because it is very difficult, because you try to understand one thing, the topic changes. And it is not complete there. So
this is also within the first year?
Yeah, I got this. No, it was, for me it was because I wanted to read the Quran to understand it. For me to comprehend something, I was not able to comprehend because it had different topics altogether continuously. I want to understand this, I want to understand this, and and I was not able to understand anything. And that is why people cannot understand until you root subject wise. You take one topic, today I'll read, for example, divorce. I told you, so you read only specifically divorce, all the chapters where it is mentioned, and from the concordance you can find it like that. So in computer age, they use available in computers also. They've got concordance of the Quran.
Use Maulana Google for that.
Yeah, you can find anything in like this. So that is how my study enhances, and I came to know how many times this is mentioned and where it mentioned, and how the verses are linked together to get a picture. Like for example, if you want to, I will explain in another manner. Like if you want to buy a big scenery to put it on your wall in drawing room, so they will give you in pieces. So you will join these pieces, and the big scenery is developed, now the whole scenery. So if you read the Quran by subject wise, the complete picture is given to you, believe me. And you read 100 times without the subject wise, you will not understand, because they are all pieces jumbled up. You have to take verses from one particular subject. Is puzzle. You have to join these verses, and the whole picture is in front of you, and now you understand, okay, this is what God is trying to tell me about one particular subject. Then I started reading, and to an extent that after some 5 years back, I started delivering lectures. That is after 5 years. But in 5 years, I had tremendous amount of knowledge, which people reading hundreds of times Quran without this subject wise, they will not be able to do so.
And focus is the first year, because after the first year you decided that you don't want to do anything else, you want to resign. So that's why I'm trying to go within the year. What happened that year? What changed you?
The first year was, but I will say for 5 years. For first year,
you resigned within the year, right?
After the understanding that there were certain things I had vague understanding of the Quranic concepts, so I had decided I will not work.
This is the first year.
In the first year, and my mother gave me the margin for first year only, and my wife also. But after second year, they gave me a good bashing that I should go back to the merchant navy. You can go talk to those Christian missionaries, and I said no, I will not go. And
so how did you convince them?
By listening to their bashing. I used to be silent.
So still didn't convince them at
that
time?
No. They force every day. Every day they used to bash me a lot. That you have to go to the ship, and you have to. There are 2 kids, and then now another girl is born, and how are you going to take this care of this? And I said, I'll beg and I'll beg. At that time, nobody was giving me money. I was just sitting in the house and taking this notes and making notes and making notes. And I didn't plan also making a center at that time. But almost after some time, at the same time, I had this opening, but on that Islamic center with Islamic cassettes. So in those timings, in those years, in the beginning of the years, I decided I'll just promote these lectures of other scholars, and I'll just read and keep on doing this.
So where did Ahmad Deedat come in? I mean, when did you go and see him? How did you know about his program?
I was promoting his videos. I told you I was promoting his videos.
So this is after you opened the center already?
No. Before, in my video shop, I had these rentals.
You know now Ahmad Deedat, but you went for studying with them?
No. Ahmad Deedat came to Pakistan. He visited my center also, and
the cassette shop.
Yeah, cassette shop. Yeah. At the same video cottage also, and then Islamic center also. Both times he visited me.
So he came 2 times to Pakistan.
He came 3-4 times. But once I invited for his lecture, I invited that he will speak from my platform, IPC. Then I opened the center and I asked him to speak on Muhammad the Greatest. Lecture was given in Sadabar.
Wow.
And that was the opening ceremony of Sadabar.
Wow.
All these guys know me from that day, that time.
Excellent.
So Ahmad Deedat, that is how I came to know Ahmad Deedat. Then Ahmad Deedat, people asked him, Ahmad Deedat, to arrange some students of his from all parts of the world. So he selected 30 candidates from all parts of the world, 1 person from 1 country. So there were many candidates in Pakistan who wanted
like scholarship or something?
No, to teach people about comparative religion, Christianity, Judaism, Hinduism, and Islam. So he was the first person he had very good knowledge on Bible. So he asked me to come. I mean, I was selected from Pakistan. There were other candidates from all over the world, from Saudi Arabia, from India, not Zakir Naik, and from Palestine, from America, two guys from America, to Philippines, Bangladesh. There were 30 students, all parts of the world, and those people, only one person from America is still doing his work. So this is how I got introduced, and he selected me for this course, and I went there for the course.
How long was the course for?
It was for 3 months. We stayed there for 3 months for comparative studies.
In South Africa?
In South Africa, Durban.
How was South Africa?
At that time, you know,
scary place.
Yeah, at that time it was very difficult. We were not even officially entered into South. It was a special paper arrangements by Ahmad Deedat, because there was racism at that time also.
So this is 1988.
Something. 1988.
What did you learn from Ahmad Deedat for 3 months? I mean, what?
The comparative between.
No, what was the essence of it? What did you find something different? Did you feel different after that?
No, I had no knowledge of the Bible, and I did not know Bible from anywhere, because there is no understanding of the Bible in Muslim community. From Ahmad Deedat, I came to know most of the Bible and the verses and how the Bible is designed, what is Bible, and how to Christians believe, because the Bible is like this, and there are verses in the Bible in a different. So I understood the Bible from Ahmad Deedat.
So first of all, I have to explain to you what the Bible is. The Bible I hold in my hand contains, if you open this first page, contains the Old Testament and the New Testament, which means that certain part of the Bible, the first part of this Bible, every Bible of the world, contains the Old Testament. From Adam to Moses, the time period described in the Bible, they have referred in the Old Testament, which is believed by the Jews themselves as the only book they believe. The first part of this Bible. The second part is the New Testament. There are certain books in the New Testament, and this Old Testament and New Testament put together is the Bible which the Christians believe. The Christians believe the Old Testament and the New Testament put together as the Holy Bible. They believe this. But the Jews only believe the first part, that is the Old Testament. They believe that. They only believe that. So in the Old Testament, there are 46 books in the Douay version. A name given to the Bible, Douay version. There are many versions of the Bible, so I'm just referring to one of the versions, that is the Douay version, and the other is the King James version. So in the Old Testament, there's a difference between the Douay version and the King James version, and that is with 38 books in the King James version. The New Testament, that is believed by the Christian world, both, contains 27 books, meaning this book I hold in my hand contains books of the Old Testament books. Listen to the English. The book I hold in my hand contains the books of the Old Testament, the books of the New Testament, and the book is one I hold in my hand, is a book. But it contains books that in the general terminology should be referred as the chapters. But the Christian world and the Jewish world, they say these are the books. So the first 5 books of the Old Testament, that is referred as Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. The first 5 books of the Old Testament. These are referred as the Pentateuch, or the Torah of the Hebrew word Torah of the Jews. Now the word Torah comes. Meaning in the Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy, the first 5 books contains the Torah, and that in these books is written that Moses got the Torah. Moses got the Torah. This is what is written in the first 5 books. And if you ask a Jew or if you ask a Christian that Moses got the Torah, where is the Torah? That he got Torah. And who gave this Torah? So they will say the first 5 books are the Torah, is the Torah. The first book, 5 books is basically are the Torah. This is accepted by the Jews and accepted by the Christians. The Torah is that in this book Moses was preaching the Torah. What the Torah is, no description, the whole book, 5 books. But 5 books are referred as Pentateuch, as referred as Torah. The second part for the New Testament is the first 4 books. Gospel according to Mark, Gospel according to Matthew, Gospel according to John, and Gospel according to Luke. These are the 4 Gospel writers. Gospel in Arabic means Injil, translated as Evangel or translated as Gospel or Good News or Glad Tidings. These are the translation in English and like that.